For you to do a patient study using your patient's digital files, go to New Patient, and then the first thing you have to do is to upload the patient's files. So let's go here to Patient Digitalization and upload these patient's files. Here, as you can see, I uploaded the patient's frontal facial picture and the upper and lower intraoral scan. So the next step is to tap on Calibrate, because we need to calibrate these files. And to calibrate those two files together, to merge them together, you will click on the edge of the canine and central and then canine. Always start from the left to the right. Notice here that we have number 1, number 2, and number 3, or in orange, in red, in orange, and in green. And on the left side, over here, you have to drag this target at the same area that you placed over here. So here we have the canine, and then central, and then canine as well. Once you do that, tap on Calibrate, and then the files will merge together. If necessary, you can always use the commands over here, and that will move the STL around for you to finalize the calibration. Now let's tap Next, and then we save the case at the patient's name and hit Save. So once you save the case, the software will ask where you want to go. Over here, let's select Case Management so that we can open the patient's folder. Okay, so here we have a timeline where it shows the patient's digital files. They're all calibrated. Here you can export, you can 3D print, and here you can have a view of these files calibrated. But to do the case study, the patient study, you go over here on the top. It's in green. It's called Patient Study. You tap on it, and then the files now will be opened in a new section. So what we have here on the left side of the screen, you see the patient's facial photograph and the intraoral scan already merged. And on the right side, we have here the treatment options that you can draw over the original STL. So let's tap on Mesh Editor, which is at the bottom of your screen, so that you can visualize the original STL here. Okay, so over here at the bottom, we have the brush size. So I recommend you to always bring it down to somewhere like minimum, so that you can have a better accuracy on your drawing. So here, for example, okay, let's say that this patient needs an extraction on the lateral. Okay, this is just an example. This is not real. It's just to educate you guys. And then we have here, let's say like an implant, right? So I'm literally just selecting here the colors, and then I'm just painting over the original STL. And then let's say that the patient will also need gingivectomy, so I just go over here and I just highlight, like the teeth that I want to do the treatment. Okay. Another thing that you can do is by adding a audio note. So instead of typing everything that you were thinking right now, or writing it down, you can simply make a record, and then that record will be saved into your software. That way, let's say if you want to share that with your lab, you can send this whole information to the lab, or you can save it for review it later. If you have a CBCT scan, you can also insert the CT scan, and you can have a AI diagnostic, which is a case report which is done by this company that we have a partnership with called DiagnoCat. So with DiagnoCat, you can order your radiological report, and then within 5 minutes, you'll be receiving a full report with tooth by tooth with sagittal, frontal, and coronal views and axial views of every single unit that the patient has. Okay, but it's imperative that you upload the patient's DICOM file in a zip folder so that that can work. Okay, this is an extra service that we can provide to you guys with the DiagnoCat partnership, the cost for a radiological report is $50 US. So if you want more information about how to get your credit for the DiagnoCat, just go to smilefy.com/pricing and you'll be able to have this credit for you. Okay, but other than that, using this study guide is great for you to also give your patient a better insight of the patient's current conditions and what you are planning for the outcome that you are proposing to the patient. Once you're finished, you can simply go over here on the bottom right corner, tap Next, and then save the study that you just created. Click over here in Save Case, and then this study will be at the right corner of your screen as a preview. And if you want to revisit or make modifications, simply go over here in this icon, not the one on the top because that's for a new case study, but the one over here at the bottom, which is called Patient Study.